my name is Bill Marion, and this is the Notes for Life. If you spend any time in the Smokies and don't run into some moving water, you might want to check your GPS. These mountains are absolutely soaked with water. The park is crisscrossed with streams that babble, burble, roar, and occasionally throw a full-blown tantrum after a storm. These waterways don't just look pretty, they're also working overtime. They carve valleys, keep forests lush, and give fish, frogs, and fly fishermen something to get excited about. You'll see them tumbling down rocky slopes, sneaking through mossy woods, and if you're not careful, they'll soak your hiking boots. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Some streams are no more than a trickle, while others are big enough to carry a kayak, or your cooler if you drop it in by accident. I've seen that once or twice. Streams of the Smokies are always scenic and never far away from where you're standing. In this video, I'm going to give you some facts about the waterworks of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. There's some great Smoky Mountain scenery in this video, so be sure to watch until the very end. As always, there are links in the description. And don't forget to leave your questions and input in the comment section below. So go ahead and click the like button, and let's get started. If you're driving through Great Smoky Mountains National Park and suddenly feel the urge to abandon your vehicle for a splashy photo op, don't be alarmed. It's just the streams and waterfalls doing their job. And for some people, like my wife Carolyn, the sound of water flowing over the rocks is so relaxing that she's fallen asleep a few times on the way to Cade's Cove. Trust me, it's easy to do. It's so relaxing. The Smokies are full of crystal clear mountain waters that tumble and froth their way downhill like nature's own spa fountains. This natural water show is brought to you by a generous helping of rain. In the valleys or close to sea level, it rains about 50 inches a year, but at the higher elevations, it can rain up to 83 inches a year. And all of that water has to go somewhere. You might be asking, why are the Smoky Mountains so soggy? Well, I've talked a lot about this in a few of our videos. Warm, moist air from the Gulf gets a little chilly as it climbs the mountains. And like a guest who's overstayed their welcome, it dumps its water and moves on. The rain either seeps into the ground, heads for the streams, or vanishes into air. Snow in the winter pauses things for a bit, but eventually it all ends up feeding the region's countless springs and streams. And this produces amazing results. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is the most biologically diverse park in the entire national park system. Scientists have identified 19,000 different species of plants and animals. It's estimated that there may be another 100,000 species that just haven't been identified. If you love the outdoors, this fact is going to help you out a lot. And not just for the Smokies. And it's okay if you don't want to admit it, because I'm going to admit it for all of us. This used to drive me crazy when I first started making videos. Okay, here it goes. The words creek, stream, and river often get tossed around like they mean the same thing. And that's a little true. According to the United States Geological Survey, there are no technical differences between rivers, streams, and creeks. But geologists can help us clear up some of the confusion, at least for the purposes of this video. Think of stream as the catch-all category. If water is moving downhill, it's a stream. It can be big, small, wide, narrow, noisy, or quiet. Regardless, it's a stream. Think of the term stream as the Swiss Army knife of flowing water terms. The term stream includes creeks, brooks, and rivers. Maybe we can call it the parent word or the head of the water family. Now, if you're an expert, give me a break. I'm trying to make this easy. A creek is usually a small stream, moving water that's narrow enough to jump across, or at least attempt to. Yes, that's a little simple, but it'll do. Not to be confusing, but there are regional terms for creeks too. Up in New England, in the northern Appalachian Mountains, creeks are often called brooks. In Virginia, they're called runs, and there are places in New York that use the Dutch term kill. On the other hand, rivers are larger, deeper, more committed members of the stream family. They've got places to go, banks to shape, and towns to pass through. If it's wide enough to float a canoe without smacking into rocks every 12 feet, it's probably a river. Now, I know there are experts out there that are already typing in the comments. I realize that sometimes streams are considered sort of in between rivers and creeks, but it's way too much to get into for this video. In Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you'll mostly hear about creeks. That's because most of the flowing water here is relatively small, fed by springs and a generous amount of rainfall. There are rivers too, like the Little Pigeon River and the Oconaluftee River. But a lot of what you hike beside or splash through here are creeks. There are over 2,900 miles of flowing water in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, including 2,100 miles of perennial streams, or streams that flow all year. That's 2,100 miles of perennial streams across the park's 522,427 acres. The park is divided almost evenly between North Carolina and Tennessee, so here's another way to visualize how much flowing water is in the park. If all the streams and rivers in the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee linked arms, they could reach all the way to the Mississippi River and back. The faucet never gets turned off these perennial streams. They just keep flowing like they're trying to win a trophy. Honestly, they deserve one. In 2015, the park finished a 3-year mapping project of all the streams. Park scientists used a combination of aircraft-mounted scanners and a GPS verification system to re-inventory streams throughout the park. And they learned there's a lot more flowing water than they previously realized. So whether it's a babbling brook or a full-on rush of whitewater, water is everywhere in these mountains. The streams here are the soundtrack of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and music is dynamic. The park streams aren't recent bodies of water. They've been carving their path through the ancient Appalachian landscape for a very long time, and they never take a day off. Water has sculpted unique rock formations and created deep gorges, carving the park's personality. These amazing creeks adapt to the rhythms of rain and seasonal changes. In the spring, they burst forth like an overenthusiastic rock band on tour, while in the drier months, they might take on a more laid-back acoustic coffeehouse vibe. Either way, they keep the landscape constantly reinventing itself. The gentle gurgle and occasional splashes form a natural symphony that changes with the weather and time of day. Smoky Mountain streams are constantly remixing their melodies and harmonies every day, all year. The clear, cool waters of Great Smoky Mountains National Park aren't just scenic. They're bustling ecosystems. The streams are home to a wide array of species, from the famous Appalachian brook trout to an assortment of macroinvertebrates like stoneflies, mayflies, and caddisflies. These tiny critters not only make up the aquatic food web, but also serve as excellent indicators of water quality. In essence, they're like nature's very own report cards on environmental health. The park streams are a hotspot for amphibians, including several species of salamanders. These slimy, secretive creatures thrive in the moist shaded banks and serve as a reminder that even the forest's most unassuming residents can be key players in their ecosystem. And the water in the park is clean. It's like distilled water. Distilled water is virtually free of minerals that we might find in tap water. In the Smokies, the streams are relatively pure like distilled water due to the fact that they all emerge from springs and groundwater seeps. The water then flows over sandstone, which is relatively insoluble. Unlike limestone, sandstone doesn't readily dissolve in water. The water in Great Smoky Mountains National Park is some of the cleanest and most pristine you'll find in the eastern United States. But it's not exactly ready for sipping straight from the source. Although most park waters are clear and free-running, you should never drink untreated water. While the water looks pure, nature doesn't come with a filtration system. Even in paradise, bacteria can hitch a ride in the clear stream. That's why hikers and campers are always advised to treat water before drinking it, whether by boiling, filtering, or using purification tablets. Still, the overall health of the waterways is excellent. These creeks are valuable laboratories, and we learn a lot from the ongoing research that monitors water quality, flow, and fish health. And healthy fish means good fishing. Like I mentioned earlier, most streams in Great Smoky Mountains National Park are perennial streams, which means they never stop flowing. 70% of the perennial streams in Great Smoky Mountains National Park support trout populations, most notably brook trout, and that says a lot about these creeks. First, it says something about the quality of the water. Brook trout are highly sensitive to water quality, so their presence in a stream is like nature's way of giving the thumbs up for clean, cool, and oxygen-rich waters. Brook trout offer a historical and culture quality as well. Everyone knows that the mascot for the Smokies is the black bear, but it could also be the brook trout. They're native to the Appalachian region. They're a living piece of the park's natural heritage, and they're a prize for anglers in the park. Below 3,000 feet of elevation, you can also catch rainbow and brown trout. There are 4 federally protected species in the park. All 4 are found in Abrams Creek. They include the spot-fin chub, the dusky-tailed darter, the smoky madam, and the yellowfin madam. These fish are making a comeback, but they're still protected. Now here's something I learned while making this video. Fishing has very little impact on the fish populations of the Smokies. Most trout in the park grow relatively fast and only live about 4 years. They die due to a lack of food resources. As usual, brown trout live the longest and grow the biggest, so they're more competitive than brook and rainbow trout. Still, fishing is great here. But it's so much more than the thrill of the catch. The backdrop of ancient mist-covered mountains and the soothing sound of burbling water can make each fishing trip an immersive experience. It's like your own nature documentary, where you're both the star and the audience, hopefully with a successful Instagram-worthy catch to show off later. I'm sure you can imagine fishing in the park comes with its own set of rules designated to protect the delicate ecosystem. Whether you're a local or visiting from afar, you'll need to secure the proper fishing license and adhere to the catch and release guidelines in many areas. There are links in the description. Besides fishing, the creeks and the rivers of Great Smoky Mountains National Park are a playground for all kinds of nature lovers who like their adventures with a splash. While whitewater rafting isn't allowed inside the park boundaries, plenty of nearby outfitters offer thrilling trips just outside the park. One example is on the Pigeon River, near the park's northeastern edge. Tubing is popular just outside the park. In Townsend, you can experience a natural lazy river on the Little River. Inside the park, it's all about wading, swimming, sunbathing, and rock hopping. During the summer and early fall, the creeks in Smoky Mountains National Park are crowded and busy. And don't forget wildlife watching. Some of the best places to spot otters, salamanders, and even bears at a safe distance are near these waterways. Now, some websites talk about soaking in the silence along the creek, but I've been going to the Smokies my entire life. During the summer, the popular roadside creeks are noisy because they are crowded with people having a great time. Photographers and artists flock to these waterways all year for long exposure shots of waterfalls and peaceful creekside scenes. Now listen, if you go to the Smokies a lot, let me know what I'm missing here in the comments. The streams of Great Smoky Mountains National Park are more than just water flowing downhill over rocks. They offer an immersive experience that you can't get anywhere else. Not like this. It's fine if you just want to appreciate how 2,100 miles of perennial creeks crisscross the park like a vast interstate system while listening to the constant rush of water. But don't forget you can engage all of your senses. Here you're invited to dip your toes in the cold waters and smell the air. The creeks in Great Smoky Mountains National Park smell like nature hit the refresh button. You'll catch the cool, clean scent of fresh mountain water, often tinged with the crisp aroma of wet rocks, earthy moss, and decaying leaves. And yes, that last one smells way better than it sounds. There's a slightly metallic hint sometimes too, thanks to the minerals in the rock beds, especially where the water runs fast and shallow. In shady spruce-lined areas, it might even smell a little piney or woodsy, like a mix of ferns, bark, and rain-soaked forest. After a storm, the creeks smell more intense, a combination of rich soil, rain, and ozone, like the whole landscape took a deep breath. It's the kind of scent that makes you feel cleaner just by standing near it. You ever buy that mountain stream air freshener scent? Yeah, the real thing is a lot better, and it doesn't give you a headache. Smoky Mountain streams are world famous, and as much as we talk about mountains on this channel, I also recommend the creeks of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. They are so unique and worth your time. If you enjoyed this video, here are some other videos you'll like too, and I'm so grateful for your comments. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. My name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.